Because Ukrainians are super diverse. They can survive in the forest, in a field, or in megapolis as well. Even our investors and partners offered us to run away and help us with the relocation. We definitely decided to stay in Ukraine. This is Vitaliy. I'm talking to you from Western Ukraine, Lviv, and greetings from all Ukrainians.
Hello, this is Joe Lindsley talking to you from Lviv, Ukraine. I'm an American journalist who got stranded here, happily, when the pandemic started. And now, with friends and colleagues, we are sharing Ukrainian voices in English with the world. You can learn more at lvivlab.com. And here I speak with Vitalii Gulyk. He is founder of Skill Reveal. It's a platform that finds and assesses IT talent for businesses around the world. You can learn more at skillreveal.io. Thanks to the Ukrainian band Dite Inżynieriv, Children of Engineers, for our theme music. And now here is my conversation with Vitaliy, recorded at the Café Fatset amid the historic cobblestone center of Lviv, Ukraine. I asked you, right now we're in Lviv, where so many embassies have relocated here. Some businesses are starting to come here from other parts of Ukraine. Not a lot. Дякую, man. But I heard from friends in Kharkiv in the east, which is 20 miles from Russia. They're still there, but this is one of their backups, is to come to Lviv. What is in your business? And we were talking about this earlier. But what is the plan? Do you have a plan to stay here or to go to some other country? If things get really bad in a way.
We have this war for 8 years already, so we mentally are ready for any invasion. Of course, we might lose in some pure facts about the weapon and army, but we are much more stronger in our mentality and we keen to remain our freedom. So we're definitely not gonna run out of the country. We might expand our business only to other countries, but not run away. Even our investors and partners offered us to run away and help us with the relocation. We definitely decided to stay in Ukraine because we are citizens of our country, we love our country, and we believe that without us it's not gonna happen. So everybody has to keep calm. And we definitely gonna stay in Ukraine. The only relocation what might be, it's only to actual combat field of some of our colleagues, but we are making sure that we are ready to sustain and ready to fight back.
What was that? The anecdote that you told me when we were talking earlier about, you said you were talking to your team, making backup plans, and instead of that, you guys decided to go to the shooting range together. What is that story?
So many partners offered us support in relocation if something happened, but instead of accepting the support, we asked to send money to our army. And we put some budget for training of our employees for shooting and basic defense and first aid courses.
So, in other words, instead of spending money on relocating to Germany, say, that was one of the options.
Yes.
You and your team said, no, let's spend this money on self-defense, knife fighting, shooting.
Yes. Yes, we have very firm and confident position that we're gonna face the enemy and fight to the end. That's for sure. Of course, nobody knows how the reality is going to look like, but this is our set of mind, and this is what we are getting ready to. It's better to be prepared rather than surrender.
And what was so you were telling me that, for example, last Sunday, as every day, this past week, the news is beginning more and more intense and scary about, Russian invasion on. It's almost like when we hear about the next coronavirus wave, right? Oh, it's going to be Tuesday, it's going to be Wednesday, Thursday, and you said on Sunday you were getting a bit nervous because you were reading all this news, and what did you do that changed your mindset at that point? What was the exercise you did, I guess?
Yeah. So every day is a new day in your head, and you are trying to figure what's going on and how it's gonna end up in a week or in months. But on Sunday, I reached the point when I realized that, yeah, this is probably gonna happen, and that's pity, but it's gonna happen. And on Sunday, I was depressed because of course, I don't want my people die and my country being dragged to the war. But with a cold mind, I analyzed everything that's going on, and collecting all the analysis and all opinions from people who I trust, I realized that this is not a risk that Russia can invade. This is opportunity, because this is the last thing what this Russia, what we are seeing right now, can do to the world, because that's gonna be their last effort to conquer the world in the way they want. And the world should use this opportunity how to calm down these gangsters who can pump the money and produce nothing except warships, weapon, and oil and gas. So we have to face it, and now I'm confident that we have everything to fight back.
Well, and you spoke about how this is a moment, this is an opportunity for Ukraine. Well, right?
Yes.
What is that? What exactly is that opportunity?
So Ukraine is a young country, even though we exist for 1,000 years. The independent country appeared 30 years ago. And all these years, Russia was trying to drag us back to the Soviet Union's mentality and make a wall between Ukraine and Western world. And vividly, the majority, like 90% of Ukrainians, don't want to be in Russia. And we want to develop our country in a capitalistic way, not dictatorship. So this is an opportunity for Ukraine to realize who we are. Every single citizen can realize now to whom he is belong to: Western world of democracy or Eastern world of dictatorship. So as more people we have who is ready to defend Ukraine and invest in Ukraine their time, their money, as better is for Ukraine. So any tension like this is better for Ukraine. Of course, the war gonna cause a lot of casualties, and this is not a good thing. But is it a huge price for real independence? I don't think so.
What is it that you like? Why do you like to be a startup guy and an entrepreneur in Ukraine? What and especially in Lviv? What are the benefits, as you see, to working in this country?
So I used to work in several countries, and definitely mentality of Ukrainians is closer to me. I'm not saying it's better; it's just different. Because Ukrainians are super diverse, and they can do different stuff. They can survive in the forest, in the field, or in megapolis as well. So right now, this country is country which is still developing. So we have more opportunities and more ways how to solve their different questions. So. Because we are flexible and we don't have so much bureaucracy. We have a lot of bureaucracy, but this is what we are overstepping with huge steps. And it's at some points it's easier to do business in Ukraine, especially we have huge IT potential compared to other world. So doing startup using Western partners in Ukraine, this is super exciting, and I really enjoy doing that with the people who is surrounding me.
Is there any fear here in Lviv that you would ever lose internet connectivity? And I think people maybe don't always realize how big of a country Ukraine is, and here we are in Lviv, where the embassies have relocated. Do you have concerns that you could lose your, what you really need for your business, and ability to communicate with the West?
If something happened, the losing internet is the least thing what we can lose. First of all, we need to remain our territory and remain as more people as possible. That's the first what we are afraid of. And having no internet connection, it's bad, but that's gonna be other stuff to worry about.
But I'm saying, is there, especially after you stepped back and reassessed, things a few days ago, you said you don't have any plans to relocate to Berlin. You're going to just stay in here. Part of that is because you don't want to surrender or quit or leave. But what about, when it comes to speaking to your clients, is there some reassurance you have to them that there's a way to have continuity of operations?
I think we have convenient and meaningful clients who gonna understand if internet gonna collapse. But of course, the consequences for our business are not going to be so good. But anyhow, with the war, the consequences will be damageable to all of us. So our partners will understand. But of course, we believe that internet connection going to be stable. This is important for the rest of the country.
Especially here in the West, it seems there's not even a question, right?
I think we're going to find the ways how we can have a connection. Maybe not so powerful, but like I said, Ukraine is a very IT country, and we'll find a way how to find internet for our business.
And you were telling me, and this is I like the imagery of when you spoke about how Ukrainians know how to survive, whether they're in the forest or the major metropolitan city. But you spoke about hearing more and more talk about different countries that some people are more afraid of the situation, but there was one country in particular you were telling me where people are not afraid, Israel. And
yes.
What have you heard about?
Yes, of course, speaking to my Ukrainian partners as well, and was asking there and there how they preserve the situation and how it is a relation with their partners. So at least Germans and the Israel partners of my partners, they didn't show any anxiety about invasion, and they still keen to make a business in Ukraine with Ukrainian engineers, because I work in the field, so that's what I know exactly.
And I mean, obviously, because the Israelis have dealt with threats, being surrounded by threats. This is a regular.
Yes, they understand us how to be surrounded by the enemy and being threatened all the time, and this is still a super powerful country. So nothing can unite the country as much as the common enemy. So and speaking to foreigners, so a lot of people now are worried about what's happening in Ukraine, and I want to thank you all for sending materials, funds, weapon, your support to Ukraine, and please keep doing that, because we need your support, because otherwise we're not gonna fight such a huge enemy who is really threatening the world right now. Let's develop our world, but not destroy it.
Cool. And as you say that, if you got just one last, because in all of the stories I read, no one mentions Maidan and the revolution of dignity. And to me, that's such a part of the Ukrainian identity today. You said freedom is, the greatest sort of trait of Ukrainians. What can you tell the world briefly about what that revolution means and why it's important to keep it alive?
This revolution means that nobody can take your freedom back, and everybody deserves to take this freedom and live the full life with the full freedom. First, you have to free yourself, then you can help to free your mind, free mind of other people. So this is all about freedom and about self-development. So this is all about that.
And maybe I don't have to include this part, but I'm wondering because so there was this. I think I told you about it. One of the most popular American television hosts, who I used to work with, Tucker Carlson, he said this week that Ukraine is not a democracy. He's got 7 million people listening, and his argument was that the president Lindsley is prosecuting the former president, the opposition leader, so-called, more or less, and that he shut down pro-Russian media. He says, based on those things, Ukraine is not a democracy. How would you respond to someone saying that?
So he has a right to sue the former president. This is not against the constitution, but that wasn't successful. So that's not about dictatorship. This is about still democracy. The other part about shutting down the Russian propaganda channels. So in any democracy country, nobody allows people who are terrorists walk with the weapon through the peaceful people. They don't allow them to do that. So the same with Russian propaganda channels. We have a vivid enemy, and this is a completely different story. So please don't listen to all this bullshit.
And one thing I've seen about Ukrainian democracy is that and I've seen this especially in the pandemic, but it's the people really rule, and I think the government knows you can only push people so far, and the memories of Maidan are very strong, and there is this sense that the people can control their own destiny, and that there always can be another Maidan when you need it, it seems.
Yes, this is all massive. So when you hear one voice of president or king or whoever, it's the voice only of a king. When the whole country can stand up and fight back against dictatorship or whatever, this is the freedom and this is dignity, and this is what we encourage to show to all around the world.
Good stuff. And then, so maybe the last question, unless there's anything else you want to add, is what, how, and let's say, maybe either now in this moment, someone who really wants to support what's happening, the Ukrainians, but maybe as things calm down, what is, while people are listening to and trying to understand Ukraine, what is the Ukrainian mentality or the profile of a Ukrainian firm or worker, or maybe you could say, because there is a certain Ukrainian mentality as you described. What is it about this? What is this mentality, and what about it would be interesting to someone looking to, hey, these are people I can rely on. These are people would be great to innovate with and to work with and to collaborate with. What is it that should attract?
This is a super nice and difficult question. I would emphasize 3 things of Ukrainian mentality. First, definitely the main is freedom. We are a free nation, and freedom is the biggest value for us. The second is hospitality. So we are ready to host other nations, other guests, and make them feel at home, because we love our country and want the same from others to love our country. And the third probably is that we like to help other people, and this is what unites us the most. Helping people, helping the closest people, friends and foreigners, anyone, because we understand that as better life of your environment, as better is your life.
With this with this type of cooperation and community, and right, I mean that's one thing I've observed in 2 years in Ukraine is one of the most common problems I hear from thoughtful Americans and successful Americans. They might have almost everything they could imagine, but they're isolated, and it's very difficult to spend quality time with family and friends and to have these moments of connection. I've never witnessed that problem in Ukraine. There's other problems, but not this connectivity and the way that people care for each other, especially in serious times.
Yes, and what I see right now is really heart touching. How people want to help each other, how they model in what might happen, and how they will behave in this case or another. How everybody who I do know, they already found their direction with all the situations. Somebody gonna help on the back. Somebody is going to the front. Some gonna volunteer and help people. Some of them are gonna be doctors on the battlefield. So everybody choose his destiny, let's say, and we are not afraid. We just fighting for that.
Nice.
But that's gonna happen.
Vitaliy, дуже дякую, man. That was great.
You're welcome, and welcome to Ukraine. Anytime, in good times, bad times, we are ready to host you and show you the whole beauty of our country and share wherever we can with you.
And if you want, you can learn more about your business from skillreveal.io, right?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for mentioning that.
Своя ціна.